All right, let's take you through our top story, a sad one, the start of the year. Not very happy to give you this. Imagine water that you drink, you would assume is safe to quench your thirst, but for people in Indore, it turned deadly. In fact, 14 people have died in Indore drinking contaminated water. Yeah. The year ended in tragedy for several families in Indore. 14 people are dead, more than 200 have been hospitalised. All of them drank contaminated water that was given, water supply that comes from the government itself, contaminated water in Bhagirathpura. As 2025 drew to a close, residents began falling sick with vomiting, diarrhea, severe weakness. For some, treatment came too late. Among the dead is one boy, 6-month-old, Avyan Sahu, born after 10 years. In fact, this child was precious for the family. Every child is, but they prayed for this child, born after 10 years, and the child dies, develops diarrhea just days after drinking some water that was given, contaminated water. His family took him to a local doctor, but on the night of December 29th, 26th, he was hospitalized. 29th, his condition worsened. He developed high fever, started vomiting, and died at home. And many such cases like this. They allege that locals there say they've informed authorities for nearly 2 weeks that dirty, foul-smelling water is coming off the taps, and they've got to take action on it, but no action was really taken. That's what locals say, and some serious glaring lapses have also been found. People are falling ill. Videos have surfaced showing a local ward councillor at a park. Now imagine you have people falling sick and dying. 14 people are dead, and the councillor there is enjoying his time at a park. Municipal water works in charge, who's instead of actually attending to the situation at hand is attending a food event. The visuals has also sparked now outrage among the people there, saying that those in power who are in fact responsible for this are not even showing concern to the families who are deceased after drinking contaminated water. Angry residents confronted the BJP leader then, Kailash Vijayvargiya, and tempers flared. We saw visuals of that. Locals alleged their concerns were brushed aside, and their claims, they in fact believe that they had to protest. Only then officials gave some reaction and arrived to fix the situation. But imagine 14 people dying out of this, and yet it's the alarm wasn't raised. Kailash Vijayvargiya, BJP leader, later said action would be taken and medical arrangements were in place. Let's take you through reactions coming in on this.
ये शहर तो वो है इंदौर जहां पर कई बार अवार्ड मिला है वहां की म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन को, और अगर वहां के शहर को अवार्ड मिलता रहा है और वहां ड्रिंकिंग वाटर की ये स्थिति हो कि जिन्होंने पिया उसकी जान चली गई हो और कई लोग बीमार हैं, और जब इस सवाल भारतीय जनता पार्टी से किया गया तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग जवाब न दे करके किस तरह का व्यवहार कर रहे हैं आप कल्पना नहीं कर सकते हैं। ये वही लोग हैं जिन्होंने कहा था कि मां गंगा को साफ करेंगे। आज अगर मां गंगा का पानी पी लें आप तो आप खुद बीमार हो जाएंगे।
There is a probe now into the water contamination. There are several lapses that have been identified. We believe leakage in the main water pipeline. The main pipeline supplying the Bhagirathpura had a loose joint, allowing possible contamination. Also, toilet constructed above the pipeline. Shockingly, newly built toilet was dumping waste directly into a pit that was located above the water supply line. And also improper waste management. The toilet's pit lacked a proper septic tank, causing sewage to potentially mix with drinking water, and contamination at the main line before branching. The contamination occurred near the main line, affecting a wider area before water distribution branched out, and delayed detection. The illness spread so quickly and widely before authorities even identified the problem there. So it's shocking, the kind of lapses that have been reported there on this. AIMIM Chief Asauddin Owaisi has said this is absolutely shameful. Government could not even provide safe drinking water.
इनकी गवर्नमेंट ऐसे ही है कि ये लोग बेसिक एमिनिटीज जो है जिसको इंसान को जरूरत पड़ती है, साफ पीने का पानी मुहैया नहीं कर सकते ये लोग। तो ये तो मध्य प्रदेश सरकार की सरासर नाकामी है कि 2026 में आ गए और 2026 में हम विश्व गुरु के दावे करते हैं और गंदा पानी पीकर लोग मर जाते हैं।
Now, the Chief Minister has stepped in, announcing compensation for families of the deceased and free treatment for those affected. Health teams are conducting door-to-door surveys, with officials fearing nearly 2,000 residents may have been exposed to this. Pipelines are being flushed. Tap water use has been fully stopped now until Friday, and 60 to 70 water tankers have been deployed there. Indore bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court is also hearing a PIL ordering immediate supply of clean water, free treatment and a status report by 2nd of Jan. 14 deaths, imagine. Hundreds have fallen sick. How did such poison enter water? And it happened under the nose of authorities. They did not even react when locals there alerted them. Only when deaths were reported, nearly 14 of them, and protests happened, people literally out some politicians there, and that's when action was taken. Let me bring in our guest joining us, Abbas Hafiz Khan, spokesperson of the Congress, Abhilash Khandekar, who's a senior journalist, joining us from Madhya Pradesh, and Dr. Dilip Bhanushali, the immediate past president of the IMA. Dr. Dilip, as a doctor, I'd start with you first. Imagine 14 people who have died, and I cannot believe that drinking water that ideally is supposed to be safe, you wouldn't think much, and that to a government supplied water has such sewage waste mixed with it, and people have died drinking it. What could have been the immediate complications that led to death? I can't imagine drinking dirty water can kill me, and that's what's happened here. How does it attack your system with multiple exposures?
Namaskar. It's really unfortunate incident which has happened in Indore. It's supposed to be the cleanest city in the country. Getting last 3 years, they're getting the award. Well, this was because of contamination of a sewage pipe with the drinking water pipe. Usually it happens if the pressure which is not maintained continuously in that pipe, and when the pressure is intermittent, it sucks in the sewage. And in fact, what you said was there was a leak there, and the leak, with that leakage of sewage, it went into the drinking water, which caused this poisoning. It's a GI poisoning, which causes vomitings and loose motions. But it's really unfortunate losing 13. Even one life is also precious. 13 lives. In fact, as you have mentioned in a report, that it was notified earlier, last 10 days, they've been telling that the water is coming smelly and color has changed. In spite of this, no action was taken. This is really this not taken.
I want to know how it attacks the immune system. For people to
You know, I mean,
die.
you get gastroenteritis, vomiting, loose motions, dehydration, and your kidney fails, and that was it causes loss of life.
Absolutely shocking and shameful. That's all I can say. We've tried to reach out to the BJP. They've refused to join us on this. Let me bring in Abbas Hafiz, who's a spokesperson of the Congress. Abbas, as an opposition, I mean, what else can you say? You got to raise issues and condemn the government. What else can you say? I don't even know what can you say here. And there's no defense.
This is actually a crystal clear example of what we are alleging since long. We have been saying constantly that this government is like under corruption, which can be unmatched anywhere. The chief minister has nothing to say because the minister who is responsible for all the civil bodies, for all the municipalities, this is an incident in his own constituency. If something like this is happening in the constituency of the minister who is responsible for all such bodies across the state, then you can imagine the plight across the state, what all other cities must be facing. And irony is, Nabila, that this Indore municipality has a budget of 2200 crore for water cleaning, and they haven't taken any samples. They haven't done any sampling for, I guess, an year, and the constant complaints have been ignored. And now a ZO, who is an officer of three councillor wards, has been suspended. Is this justified? Is what BJP is doing? The minister who is responsible for all this is shamelessly reacting. He has been caught smiling, laughing. and using such words which can't be discussed here. And still, the minister is not accountable. The chief minister has no daring that he can make the minister answerable, because there is nothing like accountability in the Bharatiya Janata Party. Irony is,
What I'm really shocked is that a toilet has been built right above the main pipeline in Bhagirathpura. You know, Abhilash Khandekar, if you want to step in on that, a toilet built above a main pipeline. People are unaware or probably uneducated to understand that's not how it's done. But at least authorities are aware that this can't be allowed. And imagine from the toilet waste and all that dump and sewage is coming into the clean water pipeline. The most basic here is not followed when it comes to civic infrastructure.
Look, Nabila, I come from Indore and I have covered Indore for many years, about 50 years, and I have seen Indore how it has grown into a big, very big and rapidly growing commercial capital of the central Indian region. And here for the last 35 years or 40 years, the Bharatiya Janata Party has been ruling, whether it is member of parliament, whether it is municipal corporation, everything is municipal corporation, everything is BJP. And today, after 2 years of his rule, Chief Minister Mohan Yadav is in charge, or a parent minister of Indore, and he has not been looking into any problem of Indore. Indore has traffic problem, Indore has polluted water problem, Indore has crime, Indore has pollution. But fact remains, coming back to this thing, what you asked is about the toilet. So I'm not really surprised. Of course, I am very sad. But this is not the case of Patnipura. In many other colonies like Snehanagar and other colonies that I know of, this kind of a problem is still running on, where sewage lines and drinking water pipelines are going together. Most of them are leaking and the water is getting mixed into each other. And therefore, this poisonous water, colored water, is being supplied by Indore Municipal Corporation, headed by BJP mayor, who happened to be Deputy Advocate General in Madhya Pradesh High Court. So that is one point. Second point is about that cleanliness title or tag which Indore has been winning for 7 years. That shows that only roads are being cleaned, but there is nothing more to that. And unfortunately, the Urban Development Minister, Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya, is holding this post for last 2 years. It is his constituency. And what has he done to Indore is clearly exposed in the sense of 14 lives. Nobody should really be, I mean, we are absolutely shocked. But the political system is such that nobody is demanding resignation of anybody. Nobody is very few. You remember, Nabila, very few months ago, there was such a disastrous event in Chhindwara, where a poisonous syrup took a large number of children lives in Madhya Pradesh. Before that, there was a well which sunk into this thing, because of it was unauthorized, and a lot of people from one family, 11 people died, which was again Kailash Vijayvargiya's son's constituency. So the point I am trying to make is that BJP is ruling this state for last 20-25 years, and there is no governance. So it is issue of governance. And unfortunate point is that the municipal commissioner who was in charge of all these things had been made collector a few days ago, and all the four important civil servants who have been posted from Bhopal very recently have been handpicked by Chief Minister. And we see what is happening in Madhya Pradesh, what is happening in Indore. Indore was known for Ahilyabai's good governance for many years, and today what we are seeing is that we are not able to provide even clean drinking water to people. So this is absolutely
I'm absolutely shocked. What we hear is now 162 people have been admitted to nearly 27 hospitals, of which 14 of them have died. 162 people, so the number could only rise. The death toll could rise. And it's such a severe problem. For nearly 2 weeks, the residents flagged it off, but they didn't.
And the minister has been saying that free treatment will be given to them. Chief Minister was quick to announce the compensation, but we don't want compensation. The idea is that we should, Indore is an ideal city. Indore should get clean drinking water for each and every person who is, but unfortunately BJP treats its people as voters and not as citizens. That is a distinction between the voter and a citizen. A voter keeps coming to the polling box once in 5 years, but he remains a citizen for 5 years. And as citizen, he is getting nothing. He has to only pay taxes and he has to, municipal corporation in Indore or for that matter any other corporation in Madhya Pradesh are deeply ridden with corruption. And this is another example of corruption, because the citizens have been saying that for the last 1.5 years, they have been complaining to municipal corporation about this kind of polluted water being supplied to their households. And here the Prime Minister is talking about Jal Jeevan Mission and taking the tapped water to every home in the country. And here in a city like Indore, which is a historic city, people are dying in 2026.
It's unbelievable that a toilet is being built over a main pipeline and sewage is going into that water. There was a leakage in the pipeline, and from the toilet sewage has been going and people have been drinking this. I cannot believe this is 21st century India. Indore, such a urban city, the cleanest and said to be well developed. A case like this is actually shocking. I don't know what to say except for the health minister or the CM himself should take responsibility. I don't even know who could we ask to resign. Who could we ask to resign?
One more important thing is that this area is the perfect example of triple engine ki sarkar, or rather much more than this. The councillor is from the Bharatiya Janata Party. The MLA is from the Bharatiya Janata Party, who is also the minister for all these bodies who are responsible for the cleanliness and everything. And then the biggest part is, Abhilash ji knows it very well, the chief minister for the very first time in the history of Madhya Pradesh has kept a district as his own district, for which he is the in charge. Indore is under chief minister's ministry, in charge ministry. So this area is having lapses, then that means that what this government has pushed the state into. That's the irony. And no one is accountable. Rajnath Singh ji's statement is very relevant these days also, that in NDA, in BJP, no resignations are being asked and no one resigns. Anything can happen.
No, but Abhilash, as a journalist yourself, would you tell us, what is compensation enough? I mean, in that sense, they've announced it, but should there not be criminal liability? How will the residents, or are they willing to take up a legal case against the authorities? Ideally, someone should be backing them. This is criminal.
I can't say whether they will take up the legal action, because the court takes a lot of time for hearing. There is some case going on PIL in the High Court.
Residents are saying for 2 weeks they've complained. For 2 weeks they've complained. So ideally the minister in charge should step down.
Navila, more than that, they have been complaining about changing the water lines to the municipal corporation. The local councillor corporator did not listen to them, nor the mayor. So the point is that should mayor not resign? The Indore mayor should resign immediately. Or the urban development minister, who is from that constituency and has been a minister for last 25 years. He was National General Secretary of BJP in Delhi for a few years, but after that he has been, since 2003, he has been a minister in Madhya Pradesh. And next comes what is the accountability of Chief Minister Mohan Yadav? Mohan Yadav has been visiting Indore every alternate day for the last 2 years. What has he done to Indore? Some question will have to be asked to Mohan Yadav, that every day either he goes to Ujjain or he goes to Indore. But what does he do in Indore? He has posted all. Divisional commissioner has been handpicked by Mohan Yadav. District collector has been handpicked by Mohan Yadav. The Indore Development Authorities chief has been handpicked by Indore, the chief minister. And then again the Indore municipal commissioner, who is Mr. Yadav, is known to Chief Minister Yadav. He has been sent 3-4 months ago, and all these 4 officers are responsible. They may be saying that they are new to Indore city, but fact remains there is a system which is working, but the system has completely failed, taking lives of 14 people. And one doesn't know how many of them who are admitted to the hospital may succumb. One only wishes that
there are nearly 200 people. Numbers are only increasing. 200 people are hospitalized right now. I can't even imagine. Such mass casualties have happened, and so far nobody in charge has really stepped down. The government, of course, have suspended some municipal authorities. Is that right?
That is an eyewash, and they are looking for scapegoats.
Yeah.
They are looking for scapegoats, and it's an eyewash.
And they are zonal officers. They are zonal officers who are accountable for 3 wards, 3 municipality wards. Like if you talk about the population, it must be 50,000 under them. They are nobodies. But the main point is
Nabila, one more. There is one more point that Mr. Khan will know.
And he has made himself the in charge of Indore. Indore is something bigger than any other city because the chief minister, for the very first time, has himself allotted Indore to his own portfolio. And that's the irony. Nobody is asking about chief minister's role. Nobody is asking about his own accountability. Whose resignation will happen? The minister who is in charge for the municipalities or the minister who is in charge for the district? Both the ministers are like equivalent to chief minister.
Let me tell you, Mr. Khan, that as you know, and also to Nabila, that the Indore Municipal Commissioner does not have good relations with the mayor. The Indore Municipal Commissioner has been posted against the wishes of the Urban Development Minister. The Indore Municipal Corporation's then Commissioner was promoted as collector very recently. Now the person who has not been able to hold the municipal corporation, because this pipeline issue is not only yesterday, or the toilet was not built overnight. This problem has been there for months together, years together, and the municipal corporation officials are the first to be hanged, frankly speaking. So municipal commissioner who was in charge of the whole corporation, which is having, like Mr. Khan says, 2,200 crore worth budget for cleaning or water supply, if he becomes the collector in Indore, and the same officers are running the Indore city, and Indore city is being represented in the assembly by the Urban Development Minister, Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya, and Mr. Chief Minister is visiting Indore every now and then, and people are dying, and we are all helplessly debating here.
What a shame, what a shame. Mass casualty, it's a rare occurrence. We've never seen this kind of news, at least not in a long time, that I've seen mass casualty like this, and that too out of basic drinking water.
I would like to remind your audience about the same.
One after the other. Yeah, Abhilash.
Shame.
I'm just wanting to bring in the same thing, that people died because of innocent people died because of the lethargy of the officials in Chhindwara through a poisonous syrup, and no heads were rolled. The health commissioner remains there. There was no change in the health commissioner. Again, he is very close to the chief minister. And a smaller fry was suspended in Chhindwara, and tomorrow this will happen in Indore also. People will go back to their own businesses, and we will also go back to our own businesses. Unfortunately, this governance style in Madhya Pradesh, which has been dominated by Bharatiya Janata Party when Uma Bharti became the chief minister way back in 2003, and today this is 2026. Continuously, Bharatiya Janata Party, barring 15 months, Congress came to power. So what kind of governance model they are showing? And they say that we are not a Bimaru state. I still feel that Madhya Pradesh continues to be a Bimaru state.
From the looks of this case, absolutely is. They must hang their heads in shame.
This same Indore was in headlines because of its MY hospital, where newborns were died because of the rats. And that nobody made the chief minister accountable. Nobody made the deputy chief minister, who is the health minister, also accountable.
But ideally, Abbas, as an opposition there in Madhya Pradesh, why don't we see vociferous protests and issue being raised on the ground as effectively as an opposition should? I mean, we don't have a BJP spokesperson here, so I can't even ask them questions at this point.
Nabila,
as an opposition, why can't you step up and be more aggressive in condemning it?
Our frontal organizations are there protesting, asking for the resignations also. We are constantly protesting on many issues almost every week. Water cannons, very forceful water cannons are being used also. Lathi charge are also constantly happening in this state, across the state, in each and every district. Our workers are hospitalized every week because of the lathi charge, because of the water cannon. But the whole issue is still nobody is ready to be accountable because of the chief minister's behavior. Chief minister is not very powerful, but he has got too much power. And everybody is fighting within the Bharatiya Janata Party's government, and they are making each other responsible for many things. Passing the parcel is being done, but the Congress Party is constantly protesting, and we will protest till our last breath. And you will see us and our cadre protesting across the state, and they are doing. But the issue is we can't bring back the lives.
We can't. And I'd like to ask our doctors, I'm coming to an end here. Doctor, could early intervention have saved their lives? People didn't even know what hit them. They were admitted in hospitals with diarrhea, and then days later they're dead. So, could you give us a word of advice? People who are currently hospitalized, how do you believe they should handle this?
This could have been avoided. Now they said this has been happening for last almost 2 to 3 weeks. The water samples should have been collected. It should have been tested whether there are contamination or not. And if it was there, they should have stopped that water supplying. So this could have been avoided.
Yeah, Abhilash, a final word on the tests. Now, the 2 weeks up, the test report has not come out.
I think they are trying to hide things and they are trying to delay things so that this outrage which is happening in Indore will subside, and after that they will try to take certain actions which will pacify the people who are angry. But let me ask you, all of us know those families which are bereaved, and those 14 people who have died without any fault of theirs, they are unlikely to come back. They cannot be brought back. So this is such a tragedy, and the point is that when we talk about tragedies in rural India, when we talk about tragedy elsewhere, here is a city which is very cultured city, which is very much in the news for all the tall claims of cleanliness for one after the other 7 years. So what kind of cleanliness? There are a number of photographs which have appeared in local media and television showing lot of unclean and unhygienic streets and water seeping from everywhere. And as you rightly said that the toilet has been erected there, but it is not only about one toilet. The entire pipeline, which is affecting hundreds and thousands of people in that particular ward and that area of Bhagirathpura, they are all suffering. One doesn't know that how many people have been drinking this poisonous water for how many days.
Yeah, for how long?
So what
Dr. Dilip, how long lasting are the health effects? Those who survive, what are the long-term health complications you believe?
Number one, which we have seen earlier cases, the contamination with sewage causes jaundice, hepatitis. I don't know whether they have been tested for that, if the hepatitis there or not, or which type of hepatitis can occur. But with contamination with sewage, it can definitely cause a havoc. It can cause an havoc. So prevention should have been there earlier. Now that they have stopped the water and supplying with clean water, but once it was detected 3 weeks back, why wasn't the water stopped? That's the question.
Same. I appreciate our guests joining us. We've highlighted this. Now, lives can't be brought back, but like Abhilash said, it's about time. You have the minister in charge, urban development minister, your mayor, whoever's responsible there for fixing the pipelines, all must be dismissed and must step down. At least that's the only moral reaction, ideally, that they should display at this point, apart from just giving compensation. And a legal case must follow. I hope activists and journalists come together and help those families fight this out legally as well. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us on that.